We're now joined by ESPN NBA reporter Tim Bontemps. And Tim, the Boston Celtics tied an NBA record by hitting 29 threes. But what was the atmosphere like in the building? Obviously, he's there at TD Garden as the Celtics tried to break the record.
Well, it was a pretty strange night here at TD Garden, Shea. You had the Boston Celtics celebrating winning their record-setting 18th NBA championship back in June by raising Banner 18 to the rafters here. They had an elaborate ring ceremony before the game. And then the Celtics came out and blew the doors off the Knicks in what was supposed to be a really competitive game in the debut of both Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. But as you said, after the Celtics made their first 3 threes to start the fourth quarter, they had about 9 minutes to make one more three to become the first team in NBA history to make 30 in a game. And what they proceeded to do was miss 13 in a row to end the game, had several air balls. The crowd was chanting one more three repeatedly, and the Celtics couldn't deliver. Became kind of a farcical thing. Derek White joked that it was like a no-hitter in baseball where he asked somebody what the record was, and when they told him that the Celtics had tied, he said, "Oh, great, we're one away from the record," and then obviously they never got there. And Jaylen Brown said it proves that the Celtics aren't a team that hunts threes because once they started to at the end of the game, they got completely out of sync. But Shea, on a night when everything went well for the Celtics and they celebrated this championship and came out and emphatically showed they are clearly the team to beat, not just in the Eastern Conference and the league. There was one thing they couldn't do, which is make one more three-pointer and set this NBA record for made threes in a game.
I mean, it's so silly that that's what we're honing in on the opening night of the NBA season, but it's true. We were all just holding our breath. My question was going to be if they knew what the record was, and obviously you just answered that, so it makes even more sense. Let's go to the Knicks side of things, because talk about a team that seemed completely out of sync, and maybe it is because of the addition of Karl-Anthony Towns and trying to figure out that new starting five, but he struggled as well. 12 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 7 boards. How do Towns and the Knicks figure this thing out?
Well, this was a mess, Shea, from start to finish. The Celtics came out, blew their doors off right from the beginning. We're up by 20 in the first quarter, and the Knicks just never recovered. I think Jalen Brunson summed things up well when he said the Knicks were on their heels all night long. It really felt like that. And in particular, I think Karl Towns was on his heels defensively. The Celtics came out right from the beginning of the game, went right into the paint, attacked him at both ends, got him out to the three-point line trying to guard on the perimeter. That didn't work. Got him into pick-and-roll actions, got to the rim as a result. That didn't work either. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Knicks can really combat that going forward. The questions about this team are not at the offensive end of the court. They shot the ball well today. Obviously, the Celtics made 1,000,000 threes. That's one thing. But if the Knicks are going to be a championship contending team, they have to get better at the defensive end of the court. That starts with Karl Towns. He said, you could talk about our offense. You could talk about the number of threes the Celtics made compared to us. I'm going to be focused on our defense. That's the thing we have to improve on. Of course, Tom Thibodeau, a noted defensive coach, that was his message as well. They are going to be focused on their defense going forward. And if the Knicks are going to become a team as good as the Celtics as the season progresses, it's going to be because they make big strides on the defensive end of the court. And they certainly have nowhere to go but up after this performance tonight here in Boston.
Now, you know that'll be Tibbs' first order of business. 23 points is the Knicks' largest season-opening loss since 2016. Tim Bontemps delivering the news. Thank you, Tim.